I'm so tired of micromanaging. How do I train, manage, and lead? I can't find time to be visionary. Head down in the weeds.
Let's talk about an unpopular topic. How more is not always better and how more nearly broke this firm. Let me tell you about one of my favorite firms. The attorney is an absolute sweetheart. He's so calm, kind, encouraging. He is a coach at heart to his team. His clients absolutely love him. His referral source send business his way. And when I started working with this firm, they were growing. The numbers look good, great. And from the outside, it all seemed to be going just as they had all hoped. But inside, the attorney was exhausted, constantly worried and nervous it was all going to fall apart. Before I started working with them, another coach had them open up 2 satellite offices, begin to run PPC, hire some big shot business consultant to come in. They were in this vicious cycle of chasing the next milestone, the next revenue goal, the next big launch. That is what they were witnessing with all their colleagues when they were at conferences, on social media, and private groups, things of that nature. After a few weeks of sessions, I looked the attorney square in the eyes through the Zoom room and asked him, "Do you even know what's enough for you?" That question stopped him in his tracks. His eyes started to swell up. He looked away and he didn't have an answer. He realized he had spent so long trying to build more than he had ever thought was possible, and then did not have the framework to stop and ask himself what enough even meant for him. I'm not talking just about revenue. I'm talking about him as a human being, which i.e. is the entrepreneur, which i.e. is the golden goose. He thought slowing down meant losing momentum. It meant no desire to scale. All the stories he had in his head, but instead of feeling fulfilled, he felt completely disconnected from his business. How ironic is that? He felt disconnected from his family and, most importantly, from himself. He wasn't even paying himself what he wanted or needed each month. He didn't even know how much he needed every month to feel successful in his own right. When you don't know what enough is, you will always feel like you're behind, even when you're winning. There's no finish line. There's just more. Now, every single week, we sit down and define what enough looks like for him. He didn't need one of the satellite offices, so we closed it. We shut down the PPC because all he needed was an additional 4 hires a month that was more than enough for his personal goals and to pay himself what he wanted. We fired a paralegal that was sucking the life and energy out of every single person in that office and virtual staff, even though she was a revenue producer. And guess what? When she was gone, the revenue never dropped. Everyone, I mean, every single person in that office and virtual team members step up. They leveled up beyond all their wildest dreams. You guys have heard me say this a million times. Money is energy. And money is a big part of it, but it's also about energy, peace, joy, a calmed nervous system. As we are at the start of a new year, I want you to ask yourself, how much do you really need to live well and feel secure, to have a regulated nervous system for you, for your family, whatever people and players you have in your life? Number 2, what kind of schedule would make you feel energized instead of drained? Number 3, what parts of your business, and yes, this includes people, actually make you happy? And which parts or people make you tense up the second you see them, the activity or the meeting on your calendar, or even lock eyes with that person? So I'm going to ask you again, what do you need? What is enough for you? Do you know when I asked my incredible client how they felt when I said, what is enough for you? I was the first person that ever asked him that. So take time this week to really get still, get quiet, to really work with these questions. You might be surprised how much you already have. or how much lighter it feels once you stop chasing somebody else's version of your success, especially if it's coming from a legal vendor that you're paying. I want to hear from you. I want you to hit reply and tell me what your enough. I really want to know this. And if you're stuck on this and you're not sure what enough is for you, or you are so deep on that hamster wheel and you have no idea what activities, what calendared appointments are serving you, the golden goose, the entrepreneur, reach out to me. I will give you our time effectiveness exercise to start tracking and really get incredibly clear, because you all know this, the numbers don't lie. The data and the information do not lie. But getting clear is more breaking you and you don't even know it, because the profit margins, because the higher rates, because the bank accounts never look this good. Maybe they are way beyond your wildest dreams, but your nervous system is dysregulated. You still have this feeling that the other shoe is going to drop. Or even worse, you're paying people that you can't stand. Doesn't matter what the reasons are. Don't try to justify it to the nth time. But people that you're paying that you resent, or simply just do not align with your vibe within your firm. People talk about core values and culture and all that. They mean all that. We interview from that. No, they're just not your people. They're not your person. And it's scary as hell to admit that to yourself, because that is your next brave, bold move that you need to make in order to have the practice, the life, the money, the type of work that you're doing that aligns with you and the vision that you set out when you hung your own shingle. So taking the power of the pause, taking this step back and getting incredibly real, honest, raw with yourself is more breaking you. And I am not here to say or to get on a soapbox about don't 10x this, doubling your... No, that's not what I'm saying at all. It's just making certain in your soul that it is aligned and you're not just consistently chasing and you're not incredibly clear on what enough is for you. Enough doesn't mean stopping. Enough doesn't mean, whew, you're done. As I said, there is no finish line. But at this point, we are here. It's consistent. It's persistent. I have joy. I have freedom. I have freedom in all levels: financial, energetic, visionary, all the pieces. And then from there, you anchor and you figure out what your leverage points are and what your next leveling up looks like. But it is not this pushing and grinding and exhaustion for this very esoteric term called more. So I do want to hear from you. Do the exercise. Send me your answers. Send me your replies. You got to do some work. At least do a brain drain and give me your thoughts, whatever works for you. If it's easier to do a Voxer, to do a Loom, to do an audio message as you're driving home and you're feeling the niggle, I don't care how you get it to me. I want to hear from you. And then when you do the work, let's hop on a call and figure out where you need entrepreneurial freedom and how to get off this hamster wheel, this vicious cycle of just more for the sake of more. Okay, until next time, continue being a legal leader, leading, creating, empowering legal leaders amongst your team.
Control freak, it's what my staff thinks. They may be right, because this treadmill of dread running through my head keeps me up at night. I'm so tired of micromanaging. How do I train, manage, and lead? I can't find time to be visionary, head down in the weeds. We're gonna tighten up this operation. We're gonna build a strong foundation. No more chaos and confusion. We'll build a team that brings solutions. I see what could be, and I can't wait. Law firm admin boot camp is the way. We're signing up today. Law firm admin boot camp is the way.